We're 1 week removed from the Worldwide Developers Conference 2008, and despite Apple announcing a brand new operating system in Snow Leopard, all anybody can talk about is the iPhone 3G. The question we're going to address today is whether or not you should upgrade. Now, the 3G iPhone has been announced. It's coming out on July 11th, and everyone is very excited about all the new features and things that we're going to be able to see on it. But one thing that I think has gotten lost in the reality distortion field is just how little this is actually upgrading, how little is changing, especially for a large portion of the United States. Now, for international viewers and for those of you that live in 3G heavy environments, obviously the 3G is a very big improvement on the speed. We're talking seconds faster here. You know, it's 35% faster or whatever the statistics were, excuse me. But really what we're looking at is a slightly faster internet and added GPS, which we did not have in the original iPhone. Everything else that was announced, essentially, we're just talking about the iPhone 2.0 software. So what we're looking at is all existing iPhone users are going to get all of those great application options. They're going to get the App Store. They're going to get the parental controls. They're going to get the new languages. All of the stuff that was mentioned in the keynote about the iPhone 2.0 is all already coming to you if you have an original iPhone. The question is, should you bother upgrading? Now, obviously, that $199 price point is very appealing because it makes it a very low-cost entry into the upgrade versus your original purchase. Now, for all of you that chose to wait for the 3G iPhone, you really don't have a choice. You know, you're going to be looking at, the 3G iPhone for $199, and if you're in a G3 area, you're going to be looking at $30 a month for your data plan. You're also not going to be getting text messages in that new plan. So you're going to have to pay $5 extra a month for those 200 if you don't already have them on your service in some other capacity. But for those of us that have the original iPhone, we're going to have a few more options. You can either upgrade to the new iPhone, which will get you the faster speed and the GPS, but you're going to be paying $10 more a month. And since you're switching to that new plan, you're going to have to pay for the text messages as well. And you're also going to have to deal with the fact that you've got a brand new 2-year contract. So even though you're about a year through your original contract, maybe a little less if you didn't buy at launch, that you're still going to be starting over at that 2-year deal. So basically, it's like your whole previous contract was completely null and void, and you begin again with 2 years. Now, one thing that you do have to keep in mind about deciding to upgrade is the resale value of your original iPhone. Now, most people thought at first that the original iPhones weren't going to go for much money at all because the new iPhones would be out and they'd be so much better, and they're only $199. But the more we learn about the new deal between Apple and AT&T, the more it becomes clear that the original iPhone is probably going to go for a pretty penny online. And here's the reason why. The new iPhone, the new iPhone can only be purchased at there's rumors that it's not even going to be in Apple stores, but we'll see if that happens or not. I find it hard to believe that you're not going to be able to buy an iPhone at an Apple store. But you will have to leave whatever store you purchase it in with the iPhone activated. You will not be able to take it home. You will not be able to activate it with iTunes. You will not be able to leave the store without it being activated. There's also going to be a pretty hefty fee if you decide to return it, a restocking fee. So what you're looking at here is essentially they're getting rid of all of this taking the iPhone off and using it on another carrier, because how are you going to be able to do that if you have to have a 2-year contract before you walk out of the store? You will not be able to buy it as a gift. So it's not something that you can leave the store without activating. So your original iPhone is going to be the only iPhone that you can actually buy and use on another network, which may be enticing to some people. And that may increase its value on the resale market. Now, if that's true and you can get $199 for it or something close, maybe more. Right now on eBay, they're going for about $500 unlocked. Now, if you can get that amount of money for it, then you're looking at nulling and voiding those added costs on your new iPhone 3G contract. So there's a lot of things to consider when you're deciding whether or not you want to upgrade. But right now, I personally am thinking about staying just with the Edge iPhone. The original iPhone works just fine for me. I don't really want to add $15 a month to my plan. $10 for the data, $5 for text. Especially when the vast majority of the United States is still on Edge. If you look at where AT&T's coverage of 3G is. Now, granted, we hear about 3G a lot because the vast majority of the tech-related stuff are in areas where 3G is already available. So they're used to 3G there, and because they're used to 3G there, they sorely missed it on the original iPhone, and that's all we heard about how great it was going to be. But if you don't live near a major city, you're not going to have 3G anyway. In fact, the 3G is only available in 40 of the 50 United States. So, what we're looking at right now is a plan that the iPhone is being, it's faster, all this stuff, but it's really not faster for a large portion of users. And you need to be very careful and check before you decide to make an upgrade based on that speed that you actually have 3G in your area. If you don't, what we're hearing right now is that you will be able to keep the $20 a month Edge plan, but you're not really going to be gaining all of that much except a new looking iPhone. I believe the GPS will work with the Edge data, of course, but you're not going to be looking at any kind of speed increase. So that's certainly something that you're going to want to keep in mind as well. Now, what I really want to know is whether or not you plan on making the upgrade. And if you do plan on making the upgrade, are you in a 3G area or are you not in a 3G area? Is the GPS enough? Do you just want the new back, the new slick black or white back? How do you feel about it? And do you feel like that you're getting, taken advantage of as far as these plans and things like that are concerned, and the price increases? So send me an email at michael@applegazette.com and let me know what you think. Now, I do want to point out to all of you that may think that you're getting, screwed on this, this new upgrade of a plan, that really it's not that bad of a deal. BlackBerry customers and many other data customers on a variety of cell phone carriers have been paying $30 or more a month for their internet for a very long time. We got a really good deal when Apple first did the iPhone deal with AT&T. And what's very important about this whole thing is that that Apple and AT&T's deal has changed dramatically as far as how the revenue is counted and things like that. And it does actually cause some concern, I think, that we may find future iPhone OS updates may cost money in the same way that an OS 10 update has a fee involved that hopefully it'll be small, like iPod Touch owners that are going to upgrade to the new service or the new iPhone 2.0 software are going to be looking at a $10 fee. And I think it's highly likely that we could all be looking at a $10 fee when it comes time for the iPhone 3.0 update, because they're not going to be getting the same amount of money that they were getting from AT&T previously, because that deal has been totally changed. And now they're treating it just like any other cell phone provider. So that's really kind of a wrap up of what we want to talk about on the iPhone. Obviously, it's been talked to death. We don't want to talk about it all day. I don't want to continue to talk about it every single day between now and July 11th. But I do think that it is going to be the focus of conversation this summer, just like it was last summer. Snow Leopard has absolutely no new features with it. It is simply going to be an update that focuses on security and usability. It's going to be Intel only. Right now we're not looking at a whole lot on Snow Leopard that's going to be worth talking about, other than the fact that it's secure and stable. And that's great, but it doesn't make for really interesting conversation. So I would imagine it's still going to be a pretty iPhone-centric summer here at Apple Gazette and every other Apple-related site in the blogosphere. And, we don't know exactly what's going to come up next, but hopefully we'll have some really great applications to talk about and some other cool things like we saw previewed at the keynote. And we'll be able to move on to that kind of stuff and not just always talk about this one little phone. But that's it for this week. We'll see you guys next week right here on AGTV.